So I talked about in another video that we have a 1-2 punch here. So I got the bagger system on the grandstand back there. And then I still have my original old walk behind belt drive 48-inch deck. And I put gator blades on the walk behind and swapped out the gator blades on there for the high lift blades that are normally on here, so that I can, when we have big piles, when we have a large amount of leaves to bag up, to reduce the amount of times we have to empty the bags, we go ahead and run this over those piles and shred them up with the gator blades, and then go back over it with the high lift blades on the bagger, so it can give better suction and get a nice clean finished striped look on the lawns while emptying the bags less. So what I did was I put this block of wood here just to block the chute. This is like some old thing that I used, the hardware that was already here for the the rubber flap, the deflector that comes with the mowers to keep everything angled down into the grass for safety. Most people take that off or bungee cord it up. But what I did a while back, when this was my original mower that all I had before the grandstand, I went ahead and just did different things. Like, I started with this. This is like going back to old school here. This is how I started, by getting, it was just like a thinner piece of plywood. This is all I had in the garage now, was a bigger strip of this. I don't even remember what I used it for, but it's obviously a much thicker, heavy-duty grade of plywood. Which is fine, but I didn't need it that thick. It's just what I had. But originally I had a thin piece of plywood, and I had cut it the perfect shape of this so that it wasn't all big and sticking up like this. But that ultimately doesn't matter. It just kind of gets in the way after a while. But for what I'm using for now, it doesn't matter. But originally I had a smaller piece there, and I would bolt it in like this for like temporary situations when there was areas with a lot of mulch beds and all that. Like, the reason why we have chute blockers and deflectors and all that kind of stuff, all the different mechanisms to do that. That's the whole point of that, to keep the grass from blowing into mulch beds and blowing up against cars and houses and whatever, and making a bigger mess than we need to, that we have to clean up later, or even creating damage. But so that's why I did the block of wood originally, but it was a pain because I had to unbolt this all the time. Like, I would always just finger tighten it, and that was enough for the spots that I needed it for, and then I would take it off and just mow like normal with the open chute in the areas where it didn't matter. But that got annoying, so then I kind of used the hardware that was already here and fabricated something here, and I bolted the wood to this, and then this would just flip down, and I had a bungee cord attached to it. I also have an old school video about all of this that I'll link at the end of this video, so it's better than me describing it. But at any rate, I had a bungee cord, I had like drilled a little hole in the end there, and had a bungee cord hooked up from there to up here somewhere, hooked up there, and then from up there I could just unhook the bungee cord and just flip this up or back down, and then I would put the bungee cord back there, and it was enough tension to keep it closed, so when the grass or whatever was blowing up against it, it wouldn't push it open unless there was a tremendous amount, and then it would kind of flip it up a little bit and then blow stuff out, which was kind of helpful anyway. And then I could flip it up, and it would keep it up with the tension of the bungee cord. So that worked for a long time. I did that a lot. It was my own like homemade chute blocker that I created myself. So again, you can check that video out. Eventually the wood got really old and worn out, and started somehow or another, it got caught under something and bent underneath the deck, and the blades chopped it up, and it just turned into a mess and fell apart. And by then I had already got my Toro grandstand and was using that all the time, because I put a mulch kit actually on the grandstand, which isn't on it anymore because of the bagger. But I'd used this for years with just the actual mulch kit on it that comes with its own blocker and different baffles and all that from Toro that I had. So I hardly ever used this mower to begin with. So, when this thing fell apart, I just didn't even care. I took it off, and it was just open, and I used it for like those tall, weedy lots and different things that I had to maintain, in addition to like a property that I already had, and they had like power lines had to be hacked down or whatever. I would kind of use this for that. Or if it was a first time cut that I needed to get under control in the spring, I would use this to kind of cut it down real nice, and then I would come back with the grandstand mulch kit and finish it up, make it look real nice. This would kind of be like my first pass mower for those bigger things. So it really didn't matter. I didn't need the wood anymore. So now I'm going back to old school, and found whatever I could in the garage and bolted this on here, got it nice and tight because I don't ever plan on taking this off until after the season is over, after leaf season. So this is what we're doing here. You know, you can probably come up with a better solution or whatever. Maybe this will give you some ideas for something you want to do, but just wanted to throw that out there. This is our setup for now for leaves. Hope you guys enjoyed the talking hand video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, subscribe and ring the bell so you get notifications for more videos that I put out every week. Go ahead and make sure you check out the videos at the end here. Make sure you subscribe over here, like I said, if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, don't forget to keep trying new things and be a rookie for life. Peace.